Joining us now, Carl Cricco. He is the new CEO of the St. Johns County United Way. Carl, good to see you. Good to have you in studio.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Really excited to be here.
Absolutely, man. So how did you end up in St. Johns County? You're not a born and raised St. Augustinian?
No. I escaped New York, I like to say.
Good for you.
Yeah,
good for you.
So, height of COVID, sitting on the couch with my wife, 5-story walk up in Hoboken, New Jersey, where I'm born and raised in Hoboken, bounced around the boroughs a bunch and then, moved back. But anyway, 5-story walk up with my wife, 5-month-old baby, no elevator.
Oof. Oh,
Height of COVID, and we both had this moment where we're like, what are we doing?
Yeah, I know that moment.
What are we doing here? So we started to list the states that we wouldn't mind living in. Florida was top of the list.
Nice.
And ended up getting a position with Canines for Warriors as their chief marketing officer.
Awesome.
oh, great.
And jumped into it. Went to the beaches, kind of went around the area, and fell in love with St. Augustine. Like really and truly, I loved it. And I could really see us being here and being happy. And 4 years later, we own a home. I got a second baby, and I'm now working at United Way. So it worked out.
You came in and found a great fit.
Yeah,
You really did.
100%.
That's awesome. What was it? What was kind of the biggest hook for you? What did you say? You know what? That's it. We're moving here.
It's funny. So food's big to me.
Okay.
I love food.
Yeah.
I'm Italian ethnically, and food's very important. I went to Sunday for brunch.
Right, I know it. Yeah,
San Marco.
Yeah.
And I'm from the New York kind of. There's like a lot of hipster stuff going on, and I like the hipster food and the hipster coffee. I'm not gonna lie.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And I went to Sunday, and I had just an incredible brunch and a good iced coffee, and I'm like, yeah, I could do
That was
this.
it?
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Sunday, the new gateway. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
we know.
No, obviously, in addition to that, the beaches and the environment and not being in the middle of a city. But yeah, that was one of those moments where like, there's some really good stuff happening here.
So what's the biggest transition for you? Was it like hard, like when you're at a red light? Are you one of those like tap honkers? Like that's New Jersey for us. That's
Well,
what we know.
to be honest,
that's a courtesy up there.
To be honest with you, there is a cultural shift that is a welcome shift, where I am impatient. I am city mode, just to your point, where I'm like, this guy's not going, the light changed.
Yeah.
And it's like, but it's okay.
Yeah.
But it's okay. And it's that second voice. It's that, but it's okay voice
Listen to the angel,
that I've had to grow. And I remember when I first moved down here, I went to Publix and I didn't get a cart and I have all this stuff, you know, and this stranger comes up to me with a cart. And he startled me. He was trying to help me. That doesn't happen where I'm from.
Like you're thinking, like, what do I owe you now, right?
He didn't work at Publix. And I'm like, what? Okay, thanks, man.
Yeah.
And then I slowly started to piece together that people are just being nice because they really value community.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not out to get something from you. Because where I'm from and where you lived, there's obviously community. I don't want to bash it completely. I grew up in a nice community, but a lot of it's transactional.
Yes.
People stop you because they want money.
Right.
Because they want to sell you something.
Right.
Because whatever, listen to my new rap CD,
Right,
whatever it is. And it's like, people just say hi here.
Yeah.
And that took a little bit to get used to.
Dog walks for me. People always say hi. You have to acknowledge people when you walk pass them on the street.
Yeah.
Not up there, right? We always looking at the side. You just keep going.
Or your phone or whatever.
Right,
yeah.
By the way, here's my new rap CD.
You like rap? You like rap? No, don't, man.
This is my demo, bro. Jay-Z loves it.
Yeah. EDM.
I just dated myself too. No one has CDs anymore.
Maybe down here, actually.
Maybe.
So how'd you get linked up with an organization like United Way?
Yeah, good question. So, I left Canines for Warriors. Great organization. They're doing great. They're, saving lives, and that's really and true. And I started to think about my next move. And I really love St. Johns County. I really love St. Augustine. And I saw the opportunity to get more involved in the community with this position as CEO and president. I saw the listing. I was immediately intrigued, met with the board, had a number of meetings and really to understand what the role is, what the expectations were, where the organization was now, and really thought it was a fantastic opportunity to give back to a place that I've made my home, that I've fallen in love with. My wife as well. My kids are super happy here, and help the issues that are here, help with homelessness, help with mental health, help with food scarcity. I feel like St. Johns County is a pretty healthy county overall. But obviously every community has issues, and it feels really rewarding to be focused on making lives better here locally.
And coming from Canine Patrol Warriors, I mean, that's just one lane. So now being president and CEO of St. Johns County United Way, you have, 35 other agencies you've got to look at. How do you not create a bias? How do you actually spread it out evenly and making sure everyone gets enough attention from the United Way?
That's a great question. So when I came in, the budget's pretty much set for through June. And then we have another funding cycle, right? So in the springtime, we're going to be deciding where to allocate funds. And that budget will be established for the next 2 years after that June. And I'm wrapping my head around that now, looking at our present allocation, but data is really my bread and butter. I really like metrics. I like numbers. That's like the closest thing to truth that you can find if you're looking at good data. Obviously, bad data, bad decisions, good data, good decisions. And we have this tool called the Alice Report, which United Way Worldwide puts out, which really gets granular on what are the major issues in a given community, right? And then you have 211, which is like a hotline to call for people who have, maybe they're dealing with a homelessness issue, or they can't afford books for their kids' school, whatever it is. So what my plan is to really dig into the Alice database, dig into 211 calls, right? Because the 211 calls will allow you to see, most people are calling about, home affordability more than anything else. So that volume of calls in a certain area will allow you to know what's really the main issues plaguing our community, right? So looking at that data and understanding where the main issues are, and then ensuring that our budget aligns with those issues, because that's what we're here to do, right? We're here to make sure that our fundraising and our allocation of funding aligns as closely as possible with the needs that need to be met in the community. So the data will help us do that.
That's awesome.
I love the analytical approach. That's huge, and that's super important, obviously, in what you do.
Oh yeah.
So let's talk about the holiday initiatives coming up. I know you guys are involved in the Empty Stocking Fund, right?
Yes, Empty Stocking Fund is a great way to help a child who is gonna otherwise wake up with no presents on Christmas, and no one likes that.
No
one likes that. So this is all local families, local folks are going to receive these funds in order to have that child wake up and have a beautiful Christmas. It's called the Empty Stocking Fund. It can be found on our website. Should I give the URL? Is that?
Yeah, that's fine. We can put it in comments too.
Okay, great. It is unitedway-sjc.org/empty stocking.
Perfect.
So please go there and support if you can. Again, just helping make Christmas a little brighter for a child, a local child. So important stuff.
Yeah. And that is really, really important. And I don't want to gloss over that. As a child, we didn't have much. We had probably a little more than a lot of the children that you guys helped. But I can remember there's a story that we laugh at now, but it must have been heartbreaking for my mom as a kid. We had not much of a Christmas one year, and my mom remembers me looking up and saying, "Why doesn't Santa like me?"
Ooh.
And it's funny for us to look back on now and laugh. But as a parent,
no,
that has just got to be crushing. And as a child, that's got to be crushing too.
Yeah, that's
so
hard.
To be able to help kids just a little bit in that situation can be monumental for that moment.
100% correct. And clearly, you're a lot older now, and you still remember that moment, right? So it sticks with you.
Yeah, man. So I love that. I love that involvement. Let's see. You guys partner with a lot of organizations around here in St. Johns County. What are the ones you're kind of looking into now and digging into more and kind of finding out more about?
So that's
at this moment.
Yeah. So I started 3 weeks ago. So I'm brand new.
Right.
So it's been a lot of learning. And one of the key things I wanted to do at the jump was get to meet these agencies, these 35 agencies that we're giving money to, that we're help support. So touring them on a daily basis, like maybe 2 a day, it's been very busy, but very rewarding. For example, Port in the Storm is a great local mission. They house folks between 18, I think 24. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's accurate.
No, you're right. We just had them on yesterday.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
okay. Yeah. So I toured that facility. met their director, and they're dealing with some heavy stuff. I mean, the main thing with a lot of this work that I think people don't realize who don't do it is that some of these folks who need the help are really hard to help because they don't want the help.
Yeah.
They want to push you away.
Pride.
Yeah.
Gets in the way.
Or trauma, anger, whatever it is. They want to push you away. And they know they need it, so they stick around, but kind of peripherally.
Mm-hmm.
And if you get them to stick around long enough, they get sucked in and get that help. And I really realized that walking that facility and hearing the stories from their director of all these individuals who, stuck around and the stories that blossomed from it. But, we also support Putnam County, which I want to make clear. So it's St. John's and Putnam. Mm-hmm. Putnam's a beautiful place. And Palatka, I went out there to Lee Conley House, which is a shelter for women who are leaving very difficult situations with their partner.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that was eye-opening. Really strong women making a really tough decision for their well-being. Really hard stuff. I'm just thinking of some other organizations I went to. Homeless Coalition, an amazing organization who really transformed an entire neighborhood.
Yes.
Buying up properties that were in really bad shape and then using them to house homeless families. And then the beautiful thing about a lot of these organizations too is that they like to focus on a hand up, not a hand out.
Yeah.
So, for example, Homeless Coalition houses families, as I mentioned, and they get to a point where they have to start paying rent, right? So they have to have some responsibility to go find a job, right? And then they also help them focus on building credit, understanding what credit is. So when it's time to leave, they have those life skills where they can just go, move, have a home, and be stable, right? Because that's the objective. The objective is not to house somebody and have them be dependent on you. The objective is to get them in a good spot. It might take longer for some than others, just the way humans are. Mm-hmm. But once they're ready to rock, they're in a good place to actually go live their life and not hopefully fall in that situation again. But there's been a number of them. The things we focus on: homelessness, mental health, and food scarcity. Yeah. So I've been visiting a ton of organizations that are really laser focused on that. Oh, Gerald, St. Gerard.
Yeah, St. Gerard House, yeah.
Give a shout out to them. I visited them. Their director's amazing, just so passionate. And that's the thing. So these people really care. I mean, to do this every day, you got to really got some fire in your gut. And
God, why it's called St. Augustine. There's Saint involved. Yeah.
Totally. And you know what? God bless these people. Thank God they exist. They're not out there trying to make an app and get rich quickly. They're out there just helping people who need it. And it's not easy. Mm-hmm. But St. Gerard was really powerful. They're focused on quality. They got five young girls at a time who are pregnant, who are young and learning about life. And they have a great program there. I know. So yeah, just been learning a lot, meeting a lot of these agency partners, and figuring out where we can be most impactful.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's great to hear. I mean, that you've only been here for literally a matter of weeks, and man, you're diving in head first.
Got to do
you're
it.
Really getting to know these places that you guys are working hand in hand with.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of
Very
segues
encouraging.
my next question for you. I mean, there's a lot of agencies out there, and we're heading into the thick of the holidays, and end of the year giving is obviously going to be, a big thing for businesses and even families out there. So, and I know that the United Way is famous and stentorian about stewarding donor dollars. Mm-hmm. How, if somebody's on the fence out there or doesn't know how to donate, why is it important to support the United Way of St. Johns County?
Well, I think the efficiency of your dollars, because what we do is we go into the beautiful thing about United Way is it's super hyper local, right? Mm-hmm. So we know all the local nonprofits in St. Johns County and Putnam County, what their quality is, where their dollars go. We do all that vetting before we give them a dollar. Mm. So when you give us the funds, we're stewards of that money and making sure that it not only goes to the best nonprofits locally, but also goes to missions that are are timely, right? The things that need to happen now, the help that the community needs now.
Important, yeah.
Yes, so it's both efficient from a vetting standpoint. We have vetted all of these organizations thoroughly, but also the things that are issues for our community now are what we're focused on. So
I love that. That's awesome.
So what are your goals? What are you hoping to achieve over the course of your tenure here with the United Way? Yeah,
no, it's a good question. I really it goes back to the allocation and looking at where the dollars need to go. And I pride myself on throughout my career just trying to get as close to the truth as possible when it comes to anything related to spending money. I was a marketer initially, so it's like, where's the ROI? Where am I spending money to get the return? Now it's like, where are the real issues, the core issues in our community? And okay, who are the agencies that are doing the best work? So my mission is to really focus on allocating money as best as possible and also increasing that funding. So two things, right? Increasing resources by raising more money, and two, really honing our allocations so that it is as effective as possible based on what the community needs now. So if I do those things effectively over my tenure, I think that it'll have an incredible impact on the local community.
Absolutely.
And that's what I'm focused on.
And you've
Absolutely.
had some legendary people before you in this position. I mean, Ann Bridenstine, I can remember, like, it really kind of shattered that glass ceiling of our local United Way. How are you going to put Carl's spin on it? Like, what's going to make your legacy different from all the others that preceded you?
I think we'll see is the answer, but I would say the focus on analytics, the really data first mindset. It's really allowed me to have a very successful career because opinions are valuable, but data is good data, again, is fundamental.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be really focusing on metrics and making my decisions based on what those metrics tell us.
Yeah.
Right.
The
So
truth.
yeah, and just as much transparency as I can get is what's going to kind of move me in one way or the other. So I think that'll be the catalyst. Yeah, I would say the transparency and data efficiency.
I'm excited. This is going to be amazing.
Yeah, I'm excited too.
That's encouraging to hear. Carl Cricco, thank you so much for coming by and just enlightening us on the United Way and your position out there. We appreciate it, man. We're looking forward to what you're going to do here in
Awesome,
Keep
guys.
us posted. This is awesome.
Yeah, we'll do. Thanks for the time, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you
Absolutely.
very much.